This will be pretty interesting to see what I get here. I'm running at 14 kilohertz for the max, 11-inch coil, version 1.1. Fast is the base program. Looking trucks with no mufflers, just hooty hoo, man. Hooty hoo, make the noise. 92, 93, 91. Starts to cut out a bit as I go around here, but I'm still holding the numbers. Go way over here. This is what I'm seeing a whole bunch of. Is that when I'm running in 14 kilohertz for the max in version 1.1, I was doing well with it before, and I don't know what in the fuck changed where all of a sudden I'm getting these pretty much, you know, 270-degree signals on the repetition on high numbers, and it's just all nails. It's just all nails. This one's going to be different. This one's going to be way different. This is silver. But I've been having a really frustrating day. I've been having a really frustrating day, but that'll cure it some. But Jesus Christ, I've never dug so many nails with this machine in one day as I have done today. It's a Roosevelt. I think it's a 47. At least it's not a 64. But yeah, I mean, I'm just here. I'll let you hear this thing. Yeah, I'm running a fairly high sensitivity, 14 kilohertz for the max frequency. Iron volume 0, reactivity 1.5. Audio response 5. Discrimination is 7 to 87. Silencer at 1. Okay, yeah, that's not helping things. Pitch, bottle caps, no. You know, you gotta go through here and just see if you can make solid 90. Back off it. Go forward over it. That just completely falls apart. So I'm not going to go after that one. In a place like this, with this much garbage and this many targets, this many nails, you can't swing any faster than what I'm swinging right now in reactivity 1.5, or you just blow right by everything. You just cruise right on by it. $90, $89, $89, $91. It's holding the repetition. getting up to 91, but that's a deep target. Whatever that is, that's deep. According to the machine, if it is a coin-sized object, according to what I know and the experience that I have, this is a deep coin. This is like 8+. Out comes our monster plug. Nothing. 88, 89. Do we have a coin in here? That's a 22 shell. That's not going to be. Not a factor. Not a factor. Nope. That's a nail. I see it. That's all you got. It's possible the 22 shell is a factor in this super low frequency set. I just haven't done any testing with them. We have pulled a bunch of dimes out of this deep silver dimes out of this area. I'm absolutely convinced there are more that are very hidden. Very hidden. Or just at that 10-inch level where they're just out of range. You got to go back and play with every squeak you get. Every pop you get, you got to go back and play with it. I can hear that. That's very crackly and broken. Now I'm overlapping my coil by 2/3. You know, I'm only advancing the coil about 3 or 4 inches at a time. I take a step probably every 10 seconds. You just got to massage the ground. $91, $92. Falling away. It's still doing something. It's still holding the numbers. It's still not holding 90, 91, even though it's going away in the volume. It's still, and you know, you got to understand that, you know, not all these coins are in flat, laying in the ground flat in perfect test situations. That is just not how this works. $91. You know what we're going to see here? give you one guess. This little dude here says 1 dime. So we went from a Roosevelt to at least a Barber. And it is a Barber. It's an 1800s Barber. No, I'm sorry. 1903. 1903. Very nice. Mint mark. There might be one, but I'm not gonna fart around with it anymore. You gotta just do exactly what I'm doing. You know, you gotta come through here and what I have found also, if you're using a lower frequency set like 14 or even 24, here's how it's gone. Okay, if I use a frequency set of 14 max, I can get a one-way signal and it can very well be a coin. Okay, if I get a one-way signal and I get anything at the 90 as I'm rotating around it, whatever, okay, and the numbers hold, it's very likely to be a coin. I have just, what I was saying before about digging the nails is I've just been digging a bunch of just stuff that I know that I was just in that rut, okay? And you can see in a very quick succession here now we've got 2 silvers. But if I'm using 24 kilohertz max frequencies, I can get a good one-way signal, and then I almost have to make sure that there's something at the 90. It can be, it can sound really rough, it can sound really bad, but as long as there's still something there. With 14 kilohertz, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything there. But 24 kilohertz, there really should be something there. With 40 kilohertz, okay, if you go to the 90 and there's nothing there, the chances of you digging up a coin are just about 0. That's what I found, me personally, hunting what I hunt in the places where I hunt. Everybody's different and everybody can have their own opinion about how things happen, but I don't dig old coins at the rate that I dig old coins. I'm just not saying this for my health. You know, this is just how it works. You know, yeah, I won't even say it. I won't even say it. All right, this is just a in addition to the video that you're watching. I went on that hunt yesterday where I found that Roosevelt and the Barber. Yeah, boy, that was a tough day, but I got it under control toward the end. Anyways, I've had the Deus2 for 380-ish days now. I made a video before about the 100 coin thing back in April. And since then, I've reached 146 silver coins, 8 rings, 8 silver rings, and a couple of other finds that you see here. This is a Conestoga bell that I found with my buddy Anthony with the 11x13 coil. My first flying eagle, only flying eagle I've ever found, just roasted, 1855 half dime plain. And the oldest coin I've ever found, the 1816 large cent. This is a really cool peacock, a peacock ring that I found pretty recently. And this is a really cool big religious ring, sterling, that I found when I was hunting with my buddy Chris down in Beloit. So this is the main result. There's about, oh, there's a few hundred wheat pennies there. And those are the silver coins. Pile of those. Pile of those. Pretty much hunting conditions like you saw yesterday. That I did yesterday that you've just been watching. like I said in the video, one thing that I've really found out about this machine, speed is a lot of things, it's not everything. If you have to have depth, okay, in places that I hunt, I have to have depth, and you saw that. If I don't have 7 plus, the ability to get to 7 plus, I'm pretty much out of the game before I started. I can't hunt like that with a reactivity of 3 under any condition, because that's just not where the coins are. The coins are deeper than that. I have to have a slower reactivity. I have to swing slower, and I have to do exactly what you saw yesterday. Just massage the ground and investigate every signal that comes through. I misspoke in I had the notch set 7 to 80, 7 to 87 or whatever I said. I said disc. I meant notch. I had my discrimination was at 7. So I think the most important thing about this, and a lot of people seem to get wrapped up in the do's and the don'ts, and you got to do things like this, and in order to find this, you have to do this, and you have to have it set up this way, and everybody's got their thing for doing their thing and whatever. The most important thing is to remember about all this is this is a hobby. It's a sport, it's a hobby, it's a leisurely pastime thing where it's just like drinking country time lemonade. Okay? You don't want this to turn into work. You absolutely do not want this to turn into work. The second that it turns into work, you need to put down the machine, whatever you're using, doesn't matter what it is. You need to walk away from it. You need to reset. You need to relax. Just do something else, no matter what it is. The second that it turns into work, it's not worth it no matter what it is. Unless you're on some archaeological dig and you're expecting to find a whole bucket of gold coins, don't turn this into work, okay? Don't get frustrated by what I'm finding or what other people are finding. I have about 300 hours into the Deus2, okay? And I have some old fairgrounds that I hunt that have produced most of these coins. Older parks, a couple of older locations that have produced, but the old fairgrounds have produced most of these coins. And you just have to consider that. You know, if you don't have those types of places to hunt, you don't have 1800s fairgrounds to hunt, okay? You can't hardly expect to be finding what I'm finding. Just like the guys out east that are finding the Spanish reals and the, you know, the colonial silver, and this, that's not where I'm at. That's not where I am. You just have to make the best of where you have to hunt and go out and do it and enjoy it. Make sure you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, there's no point in doing it. None of us are making money at this or getting rich at it. Maybe 1 or 2 of the beach hunters, that's it. Nobody's really making money at this. So there's a lot of stuff in the ground yet. This is just what I found, you know, fairly recently, within the last calendar year, basically. Okay, these are all targets that were still in the ground that I didn't find with any other machine, and nobody else did either. So there's really something to be said about this machine. The Deus2 with the 911 11 by 13 coils. There's something special going on with it. It's really, really an incredible machine. But you have to be using it within reason, and you just can't go off the hook and just do all kinds of funny shit, because that's going to send you in the wrong direction. Certain situations, you might be able to find that these newer programs coming out can work on pretty isolated targets in very specific hunting situations. Just know where I hunt. So anyways, yeah. I hope everybody has a good fall. The weather is great here in southern Wisconsin. And just as kind of an indicator of where I'm hunting, okay? In this pile, and including that seeded halftime, I've got 13 seeded coins. I've got, I think, 36 or 37 barber coins now, between this pile, in this pile somewhere. And I have 23 or 24 Roosevelts, so add that all up, and then the rest are Mercs. So that kind of gives you an indicator of where I'm hunting. The fact that I don't hardly have any Roosevelts comparatively, okay, 22 or 23 out of those, 23 I think, are Roosevelts, and the rest are Mercs and older. Okay, so that just gives you an indication of where I'm hunting. And that's where I have to hunt to find the oldest coins around here that I have access to. So it's been a lot of fun, and I just hope that everybody continues to do that. Just have fun in your hunting time, and you know, make sure and just learn about whatever machine you have and what the things do. And you don't necessarily have to follow along too closely with what everybody else has got in their machine. Just know what does what and know how to adjust it accordingly. That's about all I can say about that. I really don't have anything else to say about that. So in all reality, most of these coins were found with the Silver Slayer program. It's a derivative of the FAST program. Sometimes I had the notch here, sometimes I had it there, sometimes I had the reactivity at 0.5 or 1 or 1.5. Hardly ever at 2, never above 2. That'll just never get me any deep coins. I'll just never see them. So I'll thank my buddy Dwayne for that, Rattlehead. And he can sit on his crown and gloat. I know he will. But yeah, thanks, Dwayne. This has been working fabulously. And I think over the winter next year, I'll try some other things and see what happens. But I've already kind of gone off with the version 1.1, trying the lower frequency sets. And you know, that works too. You know, just messing around with some stuff can bring out some other targets. So don't be afraid to mess with it. Just don't mess it up, is all I'm saying. So, all right. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll talk at you later.